good job. You can do far greater things than I did. You can become a doctor. And I mean, I can list a million examples of things how you can help mankind and our community a lot more than just one way that I helped. And I think that you guys should take that with you, and it shouldn't just be this 1 year. You know, it should be a lifetime dedication to making a difference. And someone in this room can really, who knows, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, really blow this all away.
Not literally.
Please don't. Service would make a great point.
You got some great expressions tonight.
Too much time in there.
Not a bomb.
You make a great point. Service is a lifestyle. It's the thing that you're doing today. It's only today or doing tomorrow, doing for the next year. It is a lifestyle. And I promise you that if you are not fully addicted to serving others, when this program is over, that I can't help you. But I can tell you that there is nothing more addicting than service and philanthropy. There's nothing better than giving back. And I can't even imagine how much Matt's going to inspire you to do that in the coming years. But Jay, please, what do you think?
I feel like my impact in the world was deposing Saddam Hussein and bringing stability to the Middle East.
Yeah, you did a good job with that.
Everything has been running smoothly since.
Thank you.
I'll talk about like the actual impact of my mission, and then very quickly, I made a 20 square kilometer chunk of Iraq stable for about 7 months, and then I left. And right now, it's very likely that the same machine gun nests that my lance corporals and corporals were occupying, defending our patrol base, are currently occupied by ISIS. Which is to say, and I don't, that doesn't bother me beyond the fact that it sucks because I don't like ISIS, but I don't take it personally. And that is to say, when you do service, you are signing yourself up for chipping away at problems that exceed the capacity of one person to solve in 1 year. So take pride in solving the problems in front of your face. Proud of what I did for 7 months. Sucks what's happening there, but proud of what I did for 7 months. And then the second thing, just to echo what Pat said, the most enduring impact I think that I had is the set of relationship with the Marines. Just period, full stop.
Thanks, Jay.
I agree with the example of all the work. Everything you did in Iraq has gone upside down.
Yeah.
But it always will, and that's just the way things are. And that can be discouraging in that, I shouldn't help other people. But I don't really think that's like the point at all, being here. If there is a point, it's all of your own personal opinion. But the thing is, you can't do anything by yourself, regardless. So it's really your obligation to help other people as a human being. And there's always going to be meaningful work to be done. It can be done within the state level in America, which isn't on headlines as much as, say, what we're doing in Iraq or Afghanistan or wherever else. I mean, there's real problems anywhere. It could be something as simple as this terrible road has killed like 50 people this year, and nobody cares because it's a road. Nobody thinks it has a problem. But these potholes need to be filled. Who's going to do it? And even for me, I've been on a lot of different projects, and we've taken on, I guess, big things that some work for a while, some don't. Long term, everything always changes, and I think that's just the state of nature. But like my favorite stuff is, the relationships I have with all my fellow teammates and everything. That's forever. That's family. But you have oblique ways to help people that you wouldn't have thought about. So we in Afghanistan, we had this local worker fund, and I didn't trust any of the adults because they were clearly spying on us, which is fine. But there were little kids who didn't have anything to do either. And so we had these little kids work for us, and it ended up being like a playpen. They ended up not doing anything, and basically I paid them just to hang out with me. And by the time I left, I gave them huge vats of cash, and I told them to go off to the main city to learn English and then try to come to America. And I don't know what happens to them, but when they grow up, they have a completely different opinion about Americans than any of their peers. And so you can really make a huge lasting difference on future generations by serving now and just doing a good job and helping people, and you can inspire others down the line. But whatever you do right now, you're not necessarily going to see the fruits of your labor right up front.
Can I just really quickly, just because I
Please,
just
take all the time
just
you
thought
want.
of this. One of the guys actually ran the Franklin Project. Matt knows him. His name is Mackenzie Moritz. He served in Teach for America from 2006 2008 in South Philadelphia. He just had his 8th student join Teach for America that he taught history to 10 years ago. So that is to say, his job was to teach history. His job was not to inspire future people to come back and serve their community, but by working hard and doing a good job, that's what he actually did. So as you guys are, scattered throughout New York and Boston, if you work hard and are a good example, you will be inspiring the people you're serving to come back and do the same thing.
I'm wondering if you could tell the fellows some heartfelt advice on how you think they can deepen their impact on the world in this program and then after the program.
Well, I mean, I think you're already taking a big step by even participating in this program. So, as you know, I mean, it's a brand new idea. It's a brilliant idea. But, I mean, I think that it's just gonna happen organically. You're gonna make connections with people that you're helping, and they're gonna be important to you, and it's just gonna maintain. The same way that we keep in touch with our soldiers and Marines after all this time period, when you're in a position where you're helping people or where you're affecting their lives in a positive way, those are the most meaningful relationships of your life. So I don't think that you really need to be told how to do it. It's just going to happen to you because you've already made the decision to join this program and go out and do good things.
One story that I'd like to share that really messed me up when I was in the Army, and it was not battle, it was more, I was there was a time where Israel was giving back land and it was disengaging from communities, and I was in an area where I was protecting Jews from Arabs, Arabs from Arabs, Arabs from Jews, and it was just mayhem. And I felt very lonely, I felt very far from home, and I even had Jews spit at me, throw rocks at me, and call me Nazi. And a lot of my motivation for going there in the first place was because of what my grandparents went through in the Holocaust. So to talk about being thrown in some crazy, washing machine where you're just tumbled around and you don't know which way's up and which way's down, I didn't let my head go to shit. I really kept it together, and I believe that, and there's a reason I'm telling you this, is because it's going to apply. You're going to deal with some annoying people in the non-for-profit world who have dedicated their life to it, but they might be a little weird, and they might think that they know everything, and they might not respect you, and they might say, you're some young kid who's going to be gone next year. What do you know? And it might not be what you thought it was going to be. It might be a cause that you thought was so great. Then when you're stuck there, you're going to be like, the hell, I wish I was doing business. I wish I was at where I'm supposed to go. And you have that track. And I think what I'm getting to is that in life, it's a book and there's chapters. And every chapter will make that story great. So don't ever look back with disgust. Don't ever get frustrated wherever you're at. Try to really make the most of it. Plan for the next chapter. And enjoy where you are.
Jay?
Like at some point during this year, it's gonna suck, like really bad. You're gonna feel like the organization you're working for, the host organization isn't staffed properly. You're gonna feel like the people you're serving don't give a shit about you serving. Service Corps is going to do a bad job supporting you. Any number of these things. I'm kidding about that last one. But you'll like this is going to be one of the formative years of your life. You will remember what you did when you reached that hard moment, and you will remember for the rest of your life if you kept a stiff upper lip and grinded through it and endured, or if you fell on your sword and just took it and whimpered along throughout the rest of the year. So when you hit that barrier, break through it. That'd be my advice.
And forgive
I just
service
want to
here.
underline that, because that is the best piece of advice that I think we've heard all week.
I thought
mean,
I had some better.
And Pat's got some great stories.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's gonna suck. And if it doesn't suck, then what did you really do? If it wasn't hard work, then what was the point? So expect that it's gonna suck. And when that happens, it's really about, it says a lot about your character as to how you deal with that moment.
Yeah, tough times to find people. I think that's, we all feel that from the military.
Yeah, I feel like if things don't suck, you're not working that hard, really. I mean, I don't really think anything is not terrible.
We've been all my life.
If it's worthwhile, if it's a goal that's difficult to attain,
I don't think you're terrible.
Oh, that's Jay loving his peers.
but in all seriousness, if you do this right, though, just judging from my own experience, you're gonna like miss this when it's over, and you'll probably miss it like really bad. You know, like you haven't eaten for days bad.
And you're gonna have some
And
great
Matt's
stories.
failed you. And, no, but you won't if you just don't stop. And so when you move on from this, get more people to do it. And when you go off and make money, give Matt money. And
Support service corps.
100%, thanks.
see? and write about your experiences. Seriously, think about it, write stuff down, keep a journal, and get published. It's easier than you think. I make money writing now. It's total. You can do that. But that's the only way to really reach people too, is to talk about your experiences. Otherwise, it's not necessarily going to be out there. For something that's not commonplace in our society, I think it's really totally necessary for everyone who actually serves to talk about it and write about it. I mean, how many people are mystified about congressmen and politics and stuff like that? It's because these guys aren't candid. When they leave and they don't talk about it, because they think there's some kind of weird code where they can't do that. People are terrified to be vulnerable. So, yeah, that's it.
I'm wondering if you guys, and then we're gonna go to a lightning round. It should be fun. It'll be fun questions, a little less serious.
I'm gonna
But
say really bad things.
yeah, I know the last serious kind of question is.
They all have weird
That's
connotations.
okay. We've dropped so many F-bombs here on the stage already tonight. I'm wondering how you guys are planning on deepening your impact on the world in the next 3 to 5 years.
Well, I mean, I think that it's just about making yourself available for service opportunities post this. Now, this is obviously going to be a year of service where all you're going to be doing is serving. But I think that the way to do it is to make service part of your life in smaller ways. Your job is going to take over your life once you're actually out there in the quote unquote real world. But it's important to go to that food bank every now and again. It's important to go to that the tutoring session, and it's important to take even some of the cheesier corporate events where it's a 10K run and people are doing it for the T-shirts. Yes, they are cheesy a lot of times, but getting involved in those things is important as well. So I think it's really just about taking what you learned this year and applying it in smaller ways, but always remembering to put time in your schedule for service.
I recently have found that I can help other soldiers, specifically Israeli soldiers who are suffering from PTSD and how real that is. It's not as common in Israel to recognize that this exists, and it's as much as I love Israel, it's almost like a whole country where everyone has PTSD and they're all beautiful but crazy. And at the same time, they can all benefit from the awareness that they can get help from that. And I've been helping out in an organization that really takes units that suffered from traumatic experiences and brings them on retreats. And that's one way that I helped, that I find myself helping. And it's a good example of you don't know which direction. There can be some tie that you do it later on. And another example is a wine company that my family's invested in. I was trying to help them think of marketing techniques that can help them, but I also was able to influence them that for every bottle of wine that's purchased, we're going to plant a tree. And we're doing it with seed paper, and the message is going to be around the bottle. And hopefully it takes off, and hopefully more trees are planted. And it's just a little example of ways that you can be influential that you don't think of it.
What's the name of the company so we can all go on that way?
Yeah.
Yatir Wines.
It's
It's-
your
yeah.
wines. Is it kosher?
It happens to be kosher.
Wow,
It happens to be really
I'm in.
good.
I'm in.
That's right.
Awesome. Jay, what do you think? How are you going to deepen your impact in
Yes.
the world? You're raising a beautiful baby, so that's one thing. You're going to bring a human being up in this planet.
I'm gonna. The focus of my efforts right now is raising a young man of character, which
I love it.
is going to be a challenge in its own right. I'm very likely going to be working in city government, so trying to serve the city that is my home. But whether all you guys are going into the private sector right away. Just whatever the hell you do, just like remember that CSR is not some corporate social responsibility, is not like some foundation, some philanthropic thing off to the side. Just remember that everything that you do, you can do it with values or you can't. So just, I try and do everything I do with my values on top of mind.
So before we get to Noah, we're going to have to let Jay go.
So we have more time with the vets, but I know Jay has to make a train. Does anyone else before we anyone else need to jump out the door now to the train station?
Yeah.
Ronnie, you have to go as well.
No, I don't have to. I wanted to let you know if I don't know if it helps you, but I'm driving to. It won't be so far from you, if that helps you.
Where are you driving?
I'm driving to.
Stand by, one moment,
No,
please.
it's like JFK.
Nah.
Yeah.
Okay, Jay, round of applause.
You get a photo of all the vets together first, and then Melissa.
Like, even if I drop you off somewhere in
And me?
Queens,
And let's go finish the questions.
And yeah.
I've got some really fun questions again.
And Isaac, we got the.
What's that?
Or, you got
Oh
the-
yeah.
See the picture? Yeah.
Oh, look, I'm not sure.
Let it shine on my head.
I gotta turn it on.
It's like Darth Vader without the.
Okay, exactly.
1, 2, 3. Let me do another just in case. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Thank you.
Jay, thank you so much for coming out. I really appreciate it. We have a little token of our appreciation. Thank you. Swag.
Do you know some Crawford?
No.
Crawford?
Oh, Professor Crawford, security, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure you get your.
All right, so I'm gonna circle it back in. Why, Jay? Bye, Jay. We love you. See you soon. No, so the question falls on you. How are you going to deepen your impact in the world in the next 3 to 5 years?
I'm super active in the special ops community, but I've become kind of obsessed with a technological concept, which essentially helps our government sort of massively digest sentiment of other countries so that we can make sort of strategic decisions that are reflective of where they are. So hopefully that works. If it doesn't, it's really all I'm trying to do is I want to raise money to create new analytical tools for the intelligence community. Because right now we're kind of like doing stuff in the back
Who's
of
your
our head.
fundraiser?
You know?
We should talk.
Yeah. So, because I have the technology if you guys have money.
I have the fundraiser. So I want to do some 3 really kind of fun questions before I open it up to all of you for a question. So if you do have a question, start thinking about it now. But these are 3 really short questions. For the first one, I would like, if-ish, a 1 to 3 word response, possibly quick, short. Best part about being in the military, worst part about being in the military. Go.
People, the best part.
And people, the worst part.
Worst part is lack of sleep.
Aw.
I'm gonna reorganize that by the military was the best and worst part of my life.
I like that. Thank you. Noah?
The job sucks. The experience is awesome.
Great. So, second question. If you could go back and tell yourself one thing that you didn't know about